biggest Minecraft YouTuber out there with 14 million subscribers is named Dream, if you haven't heard of him. He built an empire over the last year by gaining attention with Minecraft speedruns, editing the code of the game, just putting out these videos that people were loving. In June, though, he uploaded a speedrun setting the world record in Minecraft. As you can see here, it propelled his channel massively upward. Even though his channel was doing pretty good before the speedrun, this is what brought him a lot of attention. That, combined with what he already had achieved, made him one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in 2020, breaking records in views and subscribers. So what's the problem? The speedrun, along with around 5 others of Dream's, are cheats. They aren't legitimate, and this is definitely a massive issue. As you can see, the amount of traffic the world record brought Dream was enough to launch him to the top of YouTube. So someone else's channel would have gotten the giant boost that Dream took if he would have not submitted these fake speedruns. He took someone else's thunder. He pushed the real record holder down to second place, but he pushed everybody below him down too. And instead of Dream being one of the biggest YouTubers this year, somebody else just might have been. Or maybe Dream would have still grown without the record, but Social Blade does show that Dream's success is directly tied to the fake speedrun. This video is going to talk about how Dream did this and why it matters. But more importantly, since he was accused, his response has been one of the worst responses I have ever seen since Billy Mitchell faked his Donkey Kong runs maybe a couple years ago, if you remember that story. I have an update for that here tomorrow too. We aren't even going to talk about Dream's merch because we can do that in a different video, but he sells shirts with just a tiny logo for $50, $60. He even has a cup that he sells for $50 just because it has a tiny logo on it. We're not going to talk about that. We just did, but still. So here's what happened. As I told you, Dream submitted this world record, and he got attention across all of YouTube because of it. It's what caused him to hook up with bigger YouTubers, especially Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast started calling him the best Minecraft player on YouTube, and this record was a direct reason. The reputation Dream got at that time was pretty insane because it's when I first heard of him. And you guys know I love speedruns. I remember being like, why is Mr. Beast calling this guy the best? After submitting his record, a lot of people started to watch it and eventually noticed Dream was really lucky. Really lucky. When he did stream these records live, the two things that stop a Minecraft speedrunner in their tracks are getting 2 different items, one called Blaze Rods and another called Ender Pearls. These items allow you to beat the game, and speedrunners have to get them as soon as they can so they can get to the end and defeat the boss. So of course, the mod team on speedrunning.com, that's right, no twin galaxies in this story, started to compute all the different drop rates of the other speedrunners that submitted scores and compared it to Dream's. They also compared it to the drop rate that Minecraft sets for these items. What they found leaves no doubt that Dream cheated. The data shows that Dream's drops were so lucky, they go well beyond impossible. The statistic has been told as 1 in 100 billion, but with more math, it's been shown that Dream's drops were even going into the multiple trillions. Even though that's hard for the Dream stands to compute in their heads because they aren't even out of high school yet. Most of them aren't even in high school yet. Everybody knows how impossible it really is for Dream to get that lucky, especially on a live stream. He didn't even do 1,000 attempts, he did 5. Compared to some of the other speedrunners whose odds were all very much possible, the second place runner got lucky with his drop being in the top 92nd percentile, as compared to Dream's 0.000, a couple more zeros, 1.5 percentile. How did Dream do this? Well, there is a part of Minecraft speedrunning that I don't like. I just don't understand it because they allow a couple different mod loaders to be added to speedruns to the game, right? One is called Fabric. So that speedrunner can boost frame rates and optimize their game using a plugin with Fabric. Personally, I don't think they should be allowed to use anything, but a check system is in place. Speedrunners have to submit their mod folder and game folder to the speedrun.com mods when turning in their speedrun. This is reported on YouTube fandom that Dream's folder didn't contain anything in them, but I don't know, it could be a rumor. Anyway, after all this went down, YouTube reacted, not as much as I thought they would. Ironically, Dream just got a Streamy Award in the middle of all of this, and of course, he was just as happy as he could be, like he was living a dream. You feel me? Dream eventually responded to the cheating allegation, and his response is horrible. Some of the tweets are just as bad as it gets, and he put out this paper, and I don't even want to read it to you, but I will tell you some of the issues. So I'm going to go ahead and hook you up with what Dream said on Twitter. He said, my 1.16 run was rejected after research due to it being too unlikely to verify. A video was made by a head mod and YouTuber Geosquare using my name and clickbaiting cheating speedrunning in order to get easy views. Definitely response soon. Total BS. Well, Dream, your response is horrible. It doesn't address any of the real problems, and it wasn't a clickbait title if it's true. Currently have multiple moderators messaging me that they believe the verdict was biased and that they might quit the mod team. What kind of investigation was this? This is basically him telling his young, impressionable audience he's innocent and why, and they're going to believe it. But the problem is, it also doesn't handle the facts and the evidence in the case, just like with Billy Mitchell. Having a 16th place run be called a fake run when I have had multiple world records due to luck is just BS, and you know it, man. Just to say, this video was made by a head moderator without consulting me in any way whatsoever, despite my constant attempts to help the investigation. I'm sure I'll make a response video soon, but not happy about the unfair treatment and bias. Very early on, Dream tried to create the impression of bias. Oh, I pulled this from Dark Viper's channel. Go sub to him. He tried to create the impression of bias very early in this entire thing, and I do think it's basically affecting his young audience and allowing them to kind of run with that. The thing that he did also in his paper was try to allege bias in the actual numbers. So he's alleging bias on multiple fronts, but the problem is he doesn't actually show us where the bias is. The math actually checks out. Just a rant here about speedrunning. This speedrun world record for Minecraft 1.6 and 5 have both been beaten twice in a row by two different pairs of people doing offline runs. This means twice in a row, both categories had the same person break the record offline too. It's extremely, extremely lucky and doesn't just take skill. Now, I really just don't want to accuse these people of cheating because there's no evidence they are, but their runs have been verified and are not under scrutiny at this point. This goes into my point. My 13th place run that I did almost 2 months ago on LiveStream has been under investigation for almost 2 months due to the fact that I got lucky on Pearl trades. The math has already essentially been debunked based on sample bias and other factors. This just isn't true, even if it hadn't been, and it hasn't. You could show us where it has. Luck has not been a reason to accuse a runner who has gotten multiple world records and done thousands of speed runs of cheating. That's just ridiculous, especially when I could just fake a run offline if I wanted to, like I'm sure many people easily could. And this is messed up. Not only if for one, his rates are so impossible that it's just no way that he got a lucky run, and that's why everybody believes he cheated. But for his excuse to be to throw all the other speedrunners under the bus with no real investigation or reason is just horrible. But on top of that, the speedrun verifiers and mods have trash-talked me in public and in the most unprofessional way and allow server members to spread BS figures while responding to new people saying that Dream is under investigation. This goes for multiple mods and verifiers. What does this have to do with the final result? Right? You want to get some of the unprofessional mods that did this, but how do we know they weren't just talking? And they eventually learn what's going on and then they rest on an opinion. I just don't get this. I find this so irresponsible from Dream. And I just didn't think he was like this. I just can't respect him now. He says, currently have multiple moderators messaging me that they believe the verdict was biased and that they might quit the mod team. What kind of investigation was this? You can see that very early on, he already tried to place doubt in the mod team and in the investigation. I won't go into that, but still. The reason that Dream is accused is this. Now, this green line is the 99.9th percentile. It is if you have the best luck in the world, this is what it looks like. Look at Dream's shit. So look at Illumina, and then look at expected. So expected is the average, I think, or it's just like you're expecting to at least get these drops at this point. That's why you see, comparing it to Illumina, even though Illumina did really good and got almost as lucky as you can, Illumina dipped down even below the average and then up again. So this is normal for a really lucky speedrun. This is Dreams. Dreams goes above the impossible. That's why Dream has been accused. It's why he cheated. Without addressing this, Dream has no chance. I'm sorry, Dream. I don't want it to be this way. Now, this is for blaze rods, the different item. So, as you kill the blazes, these are the drop rates. And Dream is blue again, and you've got the 99th percentile. This is literally, if you have the best luck ever, the red line is another speedrunner, and then this line, the yellow, is an average or an expected rate of drop. Dream is well above the green line again. Do you see why he's been accused of cheating? The conclusion of this is, we were able to conclude the following. The events that were observed in Dream Stream cannot be modeled by any sensible, conventional probability distribution. Therefore, it's impossible. After accounting for any contributors of bias, the likelihood of this occurring is still unfathomably small. Literally, Dream didn't just get struck by lightning. He would have got struck by lightning 1,000 times, won the lottery 100 times in a row, the Powerball, then got struck by lightning on his lottery ticket while he was cashing it in, and walked away with superpowers. Okay, anyway. There are no circumstances in a natural setting in which bartering and blaze drops could be dependent or biased to a notable degree, much less a degree strong enough to produce Dream's results. There's no way to accidentally manipulate these values in real time during a run or any conceivable way to do it unintentionally using only conventional methods. Therefore, there was an unconventional or a cheat or some modding used to get this. The only sensible conclusion that can be drawn after the analysis is that Dream's game was modified in order to manipulate the pearl, barter, and drop rates for the bar. Some of the raw data looks like this. I'm not going to break this down for you, but I want you to just see what a lot of their work looks like. I think that'll help you. And if you want, I'll try to put the links. I'll put the links to all this in the description. If you are good at math, if you're a major or something, a major in statistics, mathematics, you could go in and literally do this math and check it for yourself. But don't worry, it's been checked by a lot of mathematicians and math majors and people with degrees. I've already read their breakdowns and everything. And so anyway, this, what's this here? My perspective. So this is Dream's, response, and I just find Dream's response to be horrible. Okay, so some of it's like this. The why is a question I'm sure is usually much easier to answer than any of the other questions, but in this case, I'm a popular YouTuber, and I get less views by streaming and uploading speedruns. Bullshit. I just proved through Social Blade that your speedrun is what propelled you to gain the massive attention you got. So you can see a lot of it doesn't add up. As for my 1.6 run, I stated on many occasions I was going for a sub 25 time, and that is, as soon as I got one, I would stop. I really wanted to get speedrunning 1.5 because that's the category I feel comfortable in. He stated how much he hated 1.6 because those runs came more dependent on luck than the previous runs, and it makes sense that maybe because of that hatred, he modified these. Either way. The data presented is as follows. Over the course of my most 6 recent runs, my Piglin barters are over a 263 trade sample were more lucky than usual. No, they were impossibly lucky. This is the issue, Dream. If you're not going to represent it accurately, people are going to think you're trying to cover something up. We don't want to think that, but if you respond like this and not accurately represent the issue like you did on Twitter, yeah, we're going to think this. I don't hate Dream. I just hate the fact that he has robbed somebody else that would have gotten all that attention. This is what every cheater does that takes first place, or even a lower place. They take somebody who works for years running a game to try to get a world record, an accomplishment, and maybe if they're lucky, they're going to get some attention from that accomplishment and maybe start a career or at least a hobby where they get a little bit of support for what they've done. And when you go in and cheat to get that, you take it from them. Now, if Dream proves his innocence, I will be the first person to come in here and upload a video. But as for right now, it is my opinion, based on all the evidence and data and Dream's horrible response. Where it sits, there's too much evidence that Dream cheated. We'll see if he comes back and proves something. We'll see what happens in the future. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'm going to upload more speedrunning videos here on RockAlot. I love the topic. I do speedrun myself. I'm just horrible at it. But either way, see you in the next one.